Hi, my name is Naomi, and I've been a face yogi for 6 years. I've been a face yoga teacher for 5, and like many of you, I wear multiple hats. I'm a mother of 2 teenage boys, a wife, a daughter, a business owner for my own face yoga business, a part-time coach and assessor inside of Face Yoga Method. I am also an investor or a passive real estate investor and other financial products. So my journey originally started because I had a lot of pigmentations. Back then, I was living in Singapore. I think it was my 5th year living there, and my pigmentations had flourished. I turned to laser treatment because I thought that's what everybody does. By the 10th treatment, I knew that this was not going to be sustainable because it was so painful and it was costly. Luckily, my bigger sister had heard about face yoga and she turned me to Face Yoga Method. I immediately jumped on the wagon, tried it out for 3 months, did terrible at it because I didn't have the discipline. Back then, there weren't any classes, so I had to turn to online programs. And I thought, okay, I know this works because I've seen so many incredible transformations of before and after pictures. It's just that I couldn't be disciplined enough. And that's when I decided, if there is no solution, be the solution. In 2018, I think it was January, I joined the TCC program, and by the summer, I became a face yoga teacher. I immediately started teaching workshops to people in Singapore, and I started seeing a lot of incredible transformations. TCC gave me that skill set to help other women transform visually, and that was my motivation factor back then. Now, fast forward 5 years, my motivation factor has changed slightly. Still transformation motivates me every time, but it is a lot to do with the internal transfers that we get to experience and see. I'll give you an example, a very recent one at that. It was last week when one of my students had shared this incredible story. Her mom passed away in 2019 and she wasn't able to grieve. COVID hit right after, and the mask mandate didn't really help. She stopped smiling. Coincidentally, in 2021, she joined one of my face yoga classes, and she said for the first time, she smiled. And after that, she was able to smile again. Now, I was blown away by that comment. I didn't realize that face yoga and teaching face yoga could have an impact like that. There are more stories like that where I receive incredible feedback, how people are able to transform through face yoga and the face yoga classes that we teach. And that's my main reason for continuing. Another reason I continue is because I feel like face yoga and teaching face yoga has helped me in my own personal development and growth. A little backstory, I used to work in investment banking for 17 years, and it was an incredible ride. Very lucrative, high motivation, high ego, high adrenaline. It was like a drug. However, I had to work about 10 to 14 hours a day. Never got to see my children wake up, even during Christmas. And when I hit 40, I went through a midlife crisis. I know it sounds kind of bad, but it was probably the best thing that ever happened to me. Midlife crisis, I think, is a self-reflection that happens literally in the middle of your life. And when I self-reflected, I didn't recognize myself. I literally looked into the mirror, as well as figuratively, and I was like, this lady is a middle-aged woman who looks beat down, feels beat down, like life had just stepped all over her. So I knew I had to make a change. I made the bold decision, a very hard one at that, to retire from investment banking. I knew that I needed to grow as a person. I knew that I wanted to be a better person, and I knew that for the next half of my life that is given to me, I was going to work on self-development. And that meant that I was going to spend time with the people that I loved, obviously my children, but also my aging parents who have a couple of things going on with their life. They live in a completely different country, and I knew that I wanted to spend more time with them. not just a 1 or 2 week corporate vacation, but for an extended period of time, such as 1 to 2 months. Now, my priority as a mother is more important, so I'm not about to drop everything and relocate to where they live, which is the reason why I needed the time and the freedom to choose when I could go back to them. This face yoga teaching journey has helped me with that because I have the freedom of time. I get to be with them for 1 to 2 months every year, actually, probably more than that. I travel a lot back to them to help them in various things. And in addition, it helps me with my own being a better person based off of my values, because going into a face yoga class, you have to bring your best foot forward. So that is one of the things that's really helped me. The students help me be the best version of myself because I know that they need me to be the best version. And so that's my story of why I started face yoga, why I became a TCC teacher. And I hope for some pieces it's resonated with you. And if it has, I really look forward to seeing you in the TCC journey. I will be one of your coach and assessor, and we are going to have an incredible ride. Once you graduate, you are going to have some skill sets that you never thought you could have by being able to transform other people visually as well as internally. And that is priceless. The motivation factor for that is going to be something that you're going to take for the rest of your life. My typical day really varies depending on my personal needs as well as what's required for the work, which is fantastic because I love that freedom. But an example would be, right now, I wake up around 6 or 6:30, do a 5-minute quick visualization meditation to really focus on who I want to become for that day. Quick lymphatic massage during my skincare routine, run downstairs and make my kids and my husband their lunch as they take it to school and work. Then I am stuck in traffic for 45 minutes with my older son to take him to school, which is the best opportunity to do my face yoga practice for myself. So that's when I do a lot of the massages, a lot of the poses. I always have my mirror in front of me opened to do my face yoga workout during that time. I come home. It's final assessment season for TCC, so I would have back-to-back final assessments with aspiring teachers. That's a really fun thing to do. And I probably will take about 10 minutes to eat a very late brunch, lunch and breakfast. By then, I would have had my hot water, so I'd be moving on to either my green tea or coffee. Then I would do a little bit of my own face yoga business, either a private class or a group class, depending on the day. Pick up my son from school, my younger one, come home while he's resting. Usually I take about half an hour to an hour making investment decisions or looking at portfolios or studying with regards to some type of investments that I do. After that, I either take my younger son to extracurricular activities. We study together for about an hour and a half. After that, if I have time, I will walk my dog for about 45 minutes. That either happens before dinner or after dinner. Make dinner, have dinner, clean up, and if the dog hasn't been walked, I get to walk with him. When I walk with my dog, it's about 45 minutes, like I said, and I usually listen to the songs that I love to decompress or listen to a program that is geared towards mindfulness and mindset. Then I spend a bit of time with my husband grounding in the backyard, and we go to sleep. Call it a day.